Welcome back, everyone. Now, US Women's National Team head coach Emma Hayes, she's named a 26-player roster for the 2026 SheBelieves Cup. The US will play a series of March doubleheaders against Argentina, Canada and Colombia. Seeing the likes of Trinity Rodman, she's also included after her January return and is expected to earn her 50th cap for the United States. We've also got defender Naomi Girma returning to the lineup, and some veteran midfielders in there, Lindsay Heaps and Rose Lavelle, headline the squad. Now, of the 26 players selected, 19 of them compete in the NWSL, while 7 play in Europe, and 6 of them are currently playing in the Women's Champions League. So a little nod to the Women's Champions League there. Girls, what are our initial reactions to the roster that's been announced? Kelley, I'll start with you.
My initial reaction was, Tara Rudd?
Who's that?
Who dat? Who's that? I've never heard of her before. And then I remembered. Tara McKeown,
your friend,
got married, and she is now Tara. You know her. Because I was shocked. I was like, where's McKeown?
I wish everyone would have seen your reaction.
Initial reaction to that.
Oh yeah, there you are together.
What's your married name? Yeah, so I had a little bit of a jump scare because I feel like Tara has been done very, very well for the national team and expect to see her consistently. She's been inconsistent. She's done very well. I think she will be that going forward. So when I didn't see McKeown, I just saw Rudd. I don't know why I got a little concerned. Skipped over the Tara. I was like, where is she? But she's there. So happy about that.
When I first saw this roster, to me, I thought, okay, we have the spine of the team now. We're seeing what Emma Hayes and who she's really relying on. I think having Girma back, having Lindsay Heaps and Rose Lavelle, Valentolis Joyce, I think has that goalkeeping position as of right now. You have Trinity Rodman up top. You now have the players in each line that you know are holding the standard of what it means to be a part of Emma Hayes' women's national team.
You just said you think she has a spine of the team. I agree. When I think of the spine of the team, I think about Claire Hutton. I think
You think over Sam Coffey?
I do. I see Claire Hutton starting over Sam Coffey because she's just a complete midfielder. She was, I think, Kansas City's most consistent player last season. Mm-hmm. Now she's going to have that same role at AFC. She's just so good on the ball. She's so good off the ball. She reads the game. She gives them that balance, which will then allow players like Heaps and Lavelle to go forward. I was going to say Croy Bethune. She's not in this roster, but I think about her when I think about those attacking midfield positions. But yeah, to me, it's well deserved. She's earned it, and I hope to see more of that in this camp.
So we're seeing like a mix of experience, but also young girls coming into this roster, aren't we, Kelley?
Yeah, this is the first roster, sounds like, that she hasn't brought in anyone who doesn't have a cap yet. Mm-hmm. So everybody on this roster has had a cap. That being said, there are players on this roster that have 1 cap, 3 caps. We have Kennedy Wesley, she has 1. Wiesner, she has 3. Wiesner has 3. Riley Jackson has 1. So there are players that are capped, but it's maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So even though she is bringing in the experience, she still is bringing in those players that she's only seen a little bit and I think wants to see more of.
I'm looking at this and I'm really excited by the looks of like a Jamise Joseph. I thought she was so good in her last camp. She got a goal. She showed how physical she is, how technical she can go 1v1, but she can also be a great hold-up player. And I think when you're looking at who's missing, Triple Espresso still isn't complete. She actually has all of those qualities of those players that are missing and just needs more experience. So I love that Emma Hayes is giving her a chance, especially against the likes of who they're going to play. There's going to be so many different asks of this team, and we get to see what layers Emma Hayes has built up over her year that she's had with this team now.
Do you think this is the last roster we see without Triple Espresso?
I think that
we have to wait a bit longer.
We have to wait a little bit longer. I think
yeah.
Returning to play after a pregnancy is everybody's different. Some people, shout out to J Mac. She said it felt like a superpower. She came back stronger, faster, understanding the game much more clear. But it's different for everyone. And we've seen Sophia Wilson. Sophia Wilson. So many changes.
I know.
Sophia Wilson now in training with Portland. I think that she needs like the proper run up to make sure that she is getting the best circumstances possible for herself, for her body to be in an environment like this.
Yeah, and I think there's no rush for those players, right? Like, let them take the time, make sure they are 100% ready to get back on the field, get back into a national team level environment. So I think that it's smart that Emma says, as much as I would love Sophia Wilson to be in this camp, Portland says she's not ready, we're not going to bring her in. And I think that's best case scenario for everybody. Same with Mallory Swanson. When will we see her? Whenever she is ready. And that's my hope, that these players really take the time, because they have the support around them. They don't need to feel the pressure to get back immediately.
Yeah.
They know what they can do, and I think that they will all return to the level that they were, if not more, have a superpower, being moms. So I think, take all the time they need.
Are there any girls that we haven't seen on the roster, potentially they're injured or they won't be able
There's a couple. You said one.
Yeah, Corey Bethune. That's the first name that pops to my head when I look at this roster. I'm not sure exactly why she's not on it. Emma Hayes has her reasons, and obviously we respect that. But I think Corey Bethune has shown that she can play that creative midfielder role for the U.S. national team. She did it really well for Washington Spirit. Now she's going to do it for Kansas City. I'm really bummed she left Spirit. But I mean, it's part of the game, and she has time. Just like you mentioned, there's no rush for you to be in every single camp. I think she has time to continue proving herself, and hopefully we'll see her in the upcoming camps.
Yeah, a couple others. Corey Bethune, Emily Sams, both not in. Avery Patterson, Michelle Cooper, which Corey Bethune and Emily Sams they were in a bit last year. They weren't featured as consistently as an Avery Patterson or Michelle Cooper. And I thought both Avery Patterson and Michelle Cooper did they had a great 2025 with the national team. Really good. So it sounds like these players are maybe carrying a couple knocks, preseason knocks, that sort of thing. So that's why they're not being brought in. And I can imagine that when they are fully healthy, we will see all
100%. Yeah,
players brought back in.
I think they've had enough history and done well enough in this run up to She Believes that even after this, they'll be called into camps. The one player that I'm so bummed we're not seeing again is Ayo OK. Outside back for Denver. She went to UCLA. She had a stint playing in Mexico. Watching her play in the last camp, she looked like a Crystal Dunn reincarnated in that outside back position. She was so good 1v1. She was electric getting forward. She was precise with her passes, getting end line, picking out crosses. And maybe it's that we haven't seen her play in the NWSL yet. She needs the run-up. She needs a preseason with Denver. Sure. But I think she's actually going to be a staple with this U.S. women's national team and going to be pushing for that spot between Emily Fox, which I think is completely hers right now. But I think that second position, that build-up into what could be the future.
What do you think Emma Hayes' main message is this year leading up to the World Cup? You have a whole year to prepare. There's qualifying happening in October. What do you think she'll be aiming to do these next couple of months?
Go on, Kel.
I think that she'll be calling in a more consistent roster. I don't think she's called in the same group of players once
ever
in her tenure. That can happen because of injury. That can happen because you're wanting to see new players, that sort of thing. So I think that we'll see a more consistent roster being called in. She had said last year, I think in June, she now knows who her player pool is. And that might be a very big player pool, so I'm not sure if we will, see a lot of changes, but I don't think we will, because we're right now sitting here a year and some change out from the 2027 Women's World Cup. And this is the moment where she's laid the foundation. She's seen the players. She's given people experience. She's brought them in and shown them what the expectation is and what the level is of the national team environment. Now it's about, okay, we have to be consistent. They had losses last year. We need to go into 2026, be consistent, keep our level here. The expectation is here, and all eyes are on qualifying first, obviously, but then winning a World Cup in 2027.
Yeah. Well, the She Believes Cup takes place at the start of March. Let's take a quick look at the US opponents, because they're going to be taking on Argentina March 1st, Canada March 4th, and Colombia March 7th. Janelly, what do you think about these opponents? Do you think it'll be a tough test for the US? I think they're kind of harder opponents than who they may have played against in 2025.
I think it's a good challenge for the U.S. because they have to adapt to 3 different styles of play. I think Argentina will maybe sit back. It'll be maybe a gritty, dirty game. I think Canada will be more of a punch-for-punch match. And then Colombia, it's going to be a tough match because Colombia has the talent, the quality individually to be dangerous, to keep the U.S. on their heels. So I think it's going to be about how can they adapt to each style of play and who can implement what Emma Hayes is asking for in the moment.
I think this kind of touches on your question before of what are we going to see now more consistently can the U.S. remain consistent no matter who they're playing against? I love these three teams because, like you said, it's asking different things. You're going to rely on different strengths from different players. Is this more of a hold-up? Are we high in possession? Are we making it ugly and full send, just being much more direct? She has now all of the qualities, but it's what does that look like when you have such a quick turnaround of games like a World Cup fashion? How are you going to adapt and come out on top and be back to that U.S. women's national team caliber that our girl Kelley played for?
And listen, ultimately, it's a tournament. There's something on the line. There's a cup to be won. So I think that's what Emma Hayes is looking for. She wants to put her players under pressure and put them into the environment of like, hey, there's something to win here.
Yeah. Will you be going to the games?
I think so.